Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And in this video, I wanted to speak a few words on a video that's been circulating around the Brotherhood. All right, over this weekend, where you had this woman who on the outside appears to look like an Edomite, but she could be a Jake, a Jake foreigner, per se, where she it was a TikTok video where she was going into the book of Malachi, the third chapter, where it basically talks about the Most High trying, all right, in refining the elect of the nation of the nation of Israel as silver, and holding them through the fire. And in the video, she talked about how you had this one particular woman that she was that she knew, that went to an actual silversmith to watch how silver is refined and tried through an actual fire. And she basically asked the man that was refining the silver, how does he always know when the silver is fully refined? And the man basically responded to her saying that he knows when the silver is fully refined, when he can see his image in the silver. And of course, a lot of brothers, took that video and related, looked at it in a spiritual sense to relate to us, and how the Most High is gonna, try us as silver and gold to the point where, to the point to where he can see his image in us, his reflection in us. This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation." Because what did Yahushua say in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter? That he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Saved. Basically endure what? Endure, tribulation, temptation. Okay, that trial by fire. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. And that crown of life is ultimately the rite of passage into the kingdom of heaven. Because when you go into the book of Second Esdras, the second chapter, the prophet Ezra talked about how, in a vision he saw, the 144,000, and he saw one particular man that was taller than the rest of the 144,000, which that man was Yahushai, okay, in his vision. And he saw how Yahushai, was basically putting crowns upon the heads of each of those 144,000 men who stood who stood stiffly for the name of the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahushai. It says, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So the Lord, all right, made a promise to them that love him, which are the elect, all right, the tabernacle of David, all right, which the name David means beloved. Okay, in Acts 13 chapter, it tells you that King David was a man after the Most High's heart. In the scriptures, the Most High made a promise with them that he loved, okay, which are the elect, that they would receive that crown of life, that victory. But in order to receive that crown, in order to receive that victory, they would have to, go through some things. They would have to bear their cross, because Yahushai, in order to receive his glory and his victory, okay, he had to, go through things. He had to go up on that cross and go through excruciating pain. Hours and hours of excruciating pain. He had to go through a period of discomfort, and the elect are going to be no different. Because Yahushua said that the servant is not greater than his master. Okay, to roughly paraphrase it. So in order to You know, in order for Yahweh Shai to receive his glory, he had to bear his cross. You know, just as us, the hopeful elect. Okay, in order for us to receive our glory, we're also gonna have to bear our cross. Okay, let's go on. Let's go to Revelations 2:10. All right, Revelations chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." Okay, and what are the things that we're gonna suffer? That we're gonna have to suffer on our way to the kingdom. Okay, Jacob's trouble. You know, losing our jobs over this whole jab mandates, things like that. You know, potentially losing our homes, or wherever we stay at right now, whether it be apartment, house, so on and so forth. You know, losing our vehicles, losing our wives, and children and things like that. You know, family. You know, losing money. It says, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." And who's the devil that is speaking of in the scripture? Esau, Edom, and his martial law troops. You know, casting some of us into prison. You know, which are these quarantine camps. You know, FEMA camps, and so on, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, so if you be faithful unto death, all right, when you endure that trial by fire, okay, by the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, even to the point of having to sacrifice your life, for the ministry's sake and for Yahweh Shai's sake, you're gonna the Most High through Yahweh Shai is gonna give you that crown of life. Okay, you're gonna receive the victory, and your works are gonna follow you. All right, real quick, let's go to the book of Sirach, the third chapter. Salaki, not Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, the third chapter. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and verse 1. But the souls of the righteous, the elect, are in the hand, okay, the yod, strength or power of the Most High. And there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die. So if, the ones of us that are going to be faithful unto death, that are going to strive for the truth, even to death, as it says in Sirach, I believe the fourth chapter, in the eyes of the unwise, these people of this world, the unbelievers of our people, even amongst Israel, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. Yeah, because the people of this world and the 2/3 of our people, they look at death, okay, for the gospel's sake, as a as a failure, as a loss. They don't look at death as a form of victory. Okay, and that's why a lot of our people in this world in general are preparing their minds to bow down to the image of this beast system. Because they look at Esau, Edom, in his beast system as salvation. As the way forward. But us that are of the hopeful elect, we look at Yahweh Shem Al Shai as salvation and the way forward, okay, for this earth, and for righteousness. It says, verse 3, Sirach 3 and 3, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. And why are the elect in peace? When they give up their lives for the gospel's sake, even unto death, because through death they're going to come out as fine gold and silver, and they're going to be found worthy. Verse 4, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Verse 5, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High approved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. Because one thing you gotta understand about this trial by fire is that not only are we gonna have to go through these things, to be found worthy in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai, but we're also gonna go through these things to offer ourselves as a sacrifice, a living sacrifice. Like it says in Romans the 12th chapter, make your body a living sacrifice. Because when you come into the counsel of the Lord, okay, you have to understand that there's things that you're going to have to sacrifice and things that you're going to have to deny. First and foremost, you have to deny yourself, okay, and then you have to deny this world. You have to deny your opinions and emotions, okay, and when you deny this world is gonna hate you, like Yahushua told us in the book of John. And you're gonna receive kickback from this world. But of course, that's all part of your chastisement and your your trial. To be found worthy and faithful. Because whatever you give up in this world, for the gospel's sakes, in the kingdom, you're gonna receive it all back hundredfold anyway. Whether it be children, your wife, wives, family, and things like that. Everything that you're gonna sacrifice in this world, the Lord is gonna have it all brought back to you when it's all said and done. Because look at what he did with the prophet Job. Job had to go through his trial. Okay, he had to go through things. He was tormented both in the flesh and in the spirit. But nonetheless, what did Job do? He still he lost his wife, his children, and so on and so forth, his riches. But nonetheless, Job still kept his integrity and his faith. But when it was all said and done, what happened to Job at the end? Okay, he was blessed, at the end, and he received everything again that he lost from the beginning. Okay, well, his wife, children, land, riches, cattle, and and so on and so forth. And the prophet Job is the epitome of the elect. All right, so now let's see here. Let's see here. See what's a good scripture I can pull up. All right, let's go here. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 23, and verse 10. Job 23 and 10. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Okay, so the prophet Job, all right, when his trial was over and he maintained his faith, okay, he came forth as gold, 100% pure refined gold. Okay, he was found worthy. Verse 11, my foot hath held his steps, his way have I kept and not declined, neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. Yeah, because this word, is the true food. Okay, is the spiritual manna from heaven, sent from on high. The food for thought, as they say in the world. Let's see. See another one. Uh, let's go to Psalm 66. All right, Psalms chapter 66, and I'll start at verse 8. It says, "Oh, bless our power, Yahweh, ye people, and make the voice of his praise to be heard. which holdeth our soul in life, and suffereth not our feet to be moved. And that's ultimately what the Most High is doing, for his elect in these latter days. Okay, he's holding their soul in life. As we read earlier in Wisdom of Solomon 3:1, the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Lord. Okay, and he's suffering not the feet of the elect to be moved, but to do what? To stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, and not tossed to and fro, or with the false doctrines of this world. To have their feet, strictly rooted in this word. All right, so verse 10, for thou, O Yahweh, hast proved us, thou hast tried us as silver is tried. Thou broughtest us into the net, thou laidest affliction upon our loins. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads. And ultimately, what is it? What is this men that's riding over our heads right now? This Esau Edom, so-called white man. Because what does it say in Sirach, Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter? That King Solomon, or through the Spirit, who's the author of the book of Ecclesiastes, he's seen servants riding upon horses. And who was those servants that's riding upon horses right now? All right, Esau Edom. Okay, because he's the one that's in power, and he's the one that's riding over our heads, like it says right here in verse 12. All right, Psalm 66:12. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, like what you read in the book of Second Esdras in the Apocrypha, where the prophet Ezra through the Spirit, saw the straight gate that he had to go through in order to get in order to get the victory. Okay, what did he say? To roughly paraphrase it, he saw fire on one side and water on the other side. Let me read this verse again. Psalm 66:12. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, but thou brought us out into a wealthy place. And ultimately, what is that ultimate wealthy place? The kingdom of heaven. Okay. I will go into thy house with burnt offerings. I will pay thee my vows. Okay, and ultimately, we're going into the Lord's house. Okay, going through his trial, by offering up ourselves as a burnt offering, to pay our vows. Because when you go into the story of the three holy children, okay, that's found in those three Israelite brothers. Okay, you can read about in Daniel the third chapter. All right, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Who were cast into the furnace by Nebuchadnezzar for not bowing down to the image. Okay, it tells you in the Apocrypha that they went into the fire, praising the Lord, because they understood that that they deserved, to be put in that fire because of their iniquity. So us as the hopeful elect, whenever we go into the Lord's house, offering ourselves as a burnt offering, first and foremost, we have to understand that we're doing that to pay our vows, so to speak, to pay for the sins that we committed in this life, as well as our past lives. Okay, to be purified from those sins, and ultimately to be forgiven, and found worthy, and found, okay, as more precious than fine gold and silver. All right, see if I can get another one. Yep, this is Daniel chapter 12. All right, Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried. And that many, of course, is the elect, because the elect are the ones that's going to be purified and made white. Okay. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand. Yeah, because what are the wicked are not going to understand? As the elect are being purified and made white and tried. They're not going to understand that. Through that trial, and eventually, even if it comes to the point to where they have to be put to death. Okay, they through that death, they're still going to receive that victory. But as we read earlier in Wisdom of Solomon 3, okay, in 2, what does it say? In the sight of the unwise, the wicked, they seem, Salakit, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. Okay, so, the, Salakit, the wicked, aren't going to understand because they're going to look at that trial by fire as a a form of punishment, and ultimately, judgment by the Most High, because they're the ones that's gonna be found as dross. They're not gonna be purified and made white. Okay, but it says, at the latter end of this verse, Daniel 12:10, but the wise shall understand, because those of us that are of the hopeful elect, we're gonna understand, why we're going through this, because this is all the chastisement of Yahweh Shem Shai. And we know that in the scriptures it tells you, that the Lord chastised, those that He loved. Okay, so let me see, get one more scripture, then after that I'm gonna end this lesson off. And it's a whole bunch of scriptures that you can go into, when dealing with this particular topic. But let me see. All right, this is Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. Okay, and that's the 2/3. The 2/3 of the nation of Israel are the ones that's going to be cut off and die. All right, when the Lord starts to bring that serious judgment into the world, which right now currently is already bringing serious judgment into the world. These different weather effects. Just recently, over this weekend, you had Hurricane Ida, tearing through New Orleans. All right, down in New Orleans, Louisiana. You got droughts taking place in the west, the western regions of the United States. You've had mass flooding taking place in different places around the country and around the world. Tennessee, New York City. Flooding taking place in different countries in Europe. Germany and France and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, Zechariah 13:8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, or the 2/3 of Israel, but the third shall be left therein, and that's the 1/3, the elect. Okay, starting with the 144,000. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. Okay, because the elect, starting with the 144,000, are going to have the names of the Father written in their foreheads. Okay, all right, like it says in Revelations, the 14th chapter. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is my power. Okay, so, in order for us that are of the hopeful elect, to receive that glory and that victory, okay, and that crown, we're going to have to go through that straight gate. Okay, where there's fire on one side and water on the other side, and that there's no other way. There's no other path or way that we can, go through in order to receive that victory. You know, and the Most High is going to put us in those situations, you know, to try us and refine us as you know, pure gold and silver. You know, so when the times of Jacob's trouble are really and fully come around, you know, you're either going to be tried and refined as silver or gold, or your ass is go fold. All right. So with that, shalom.